how I would make $10,000 a month as soon as possible if I had to start from scratch. And by now, I have helped many people build their own business and earn $10,000 a month. And yeah, I've seen the same mistakes all over again. Everybody's doing the same mistakes. And usually it's actually because of something called shiny object syndrome. And I've been doing this myself so many freaking times. And it's usually the number one reason why you're not succeeding or getting to that $10,000 a month. And yeah, it looks like this. The normal curve is actually going upwards constantly, but you will have down, it will go up and down. And then you have the shiny object syndrome. And usually, I would say that this isn't the best graph because usually it goes up, and then it goes slightly down, or it gets a bit difficult, and yeah, you just want to quit. And when you get that feeling that you want to quit, usually you start looking elsewhere and you see some other shiny object. Maybe it's e-com, maybe it's software, AI, and then you change, because once it gets difficult, it's so much easier to just change. But this is what happens. And yeah, I've done this so many times myself. And it's all about jumping model the moment the honeymoon ends. And yeah, you start thinking maybe it's dropshipping, maybe it's SaaS, maybe it's an agency. And you're basically restarting at zero every single time. And the thing is that building feels good, but it's just procrastination. And I myself I feel this all the time. It feels so good building things. But yeah, building doesn't make you money. Often the boring stuff makes you a lot of money. For example, doing outreach or doing things that's not as fun. And it ends up with you quitting as soon as it gets uncomfortable. And yeah, often they hear a no a few times and they pivot. They fail because they can't stay consistent when it's boring, repetitive, and humbling. And if you watch Alex Ramosi, he talks about this all the freaking time. This is maybe the number one thing he talks about, and I have to agree with Alex Ramosi. He's a beast. And yeah, going when everybody else quits and when there is no positive feedback loop, that's when you're actually succeeding and beating others, because that's the path other people aren't willing to take. And the mindset I have adopted and that I want you to adopt if you want to get to 10K a month is the scientist. And as a scientist, you do research and you create a hypothesis based on the research. Then you test it. Then you get some results. And maybe it's positive, maybe it's not that great. And then you iterate. You basically, you can't fail. The only unknown variable here is time. Because if you do research, you create a hypothesis, you test, you get a result, and based on the result, you do some changes to make it even better, then it goes back again. And it goes through the input and to the output, and then you iterate, and it just goes in the feedback loop until you're where you want to be. And what business model is actually the best if you want to earn $10,000 a month? And there's so many business models out there, and I want to say that they all work. A lot of people are casting rocks at the other business model. This business model sucks. This is the correct one. Choose my path. But every single business model works. As long as other people are doing it and making money, it just works. People are making a shit ton of money from e-com. People are making a lot of money from software, from AI, from all these different business models. I think the number one key here is to choose one and stick with it. And also think about how scalable is it in the long term? And do you actually want to work with this over the next year, 2, 3, 4, 5? and then you choose that. And I really like selling high ticket transformation through coaching and courses. And yeah, I'll talk a bit about it, but usually we create a beta first, and that's how we get to the $10,000 a month. And then you build out a course because it's very, very scalable, and the profit margins are super, super high. And yeah, they're just unfair. We have offers doing 100K plus a month now, and they all have 80% margins. So if you make 100K, you have $80,000 left. And there's no other business model with these high margins. So yeah, if you're building, for example, an e-com store or dropshipping or whatever, your margin will be super tight compared. And I actually tried software. I tried ecom. I tried SMMA, and they all work, but they're not as scalable. And it's just a hassle scaling some of these business models, and it's a lot of work that I don't necessarily like to do. Like, for example, working with in the SSMA, often you have to work with some local businesses, and they're not as business mind. They don't have the same business mindset, and yeah, I just don't like it. But I really like doing courses, and looking at what 10K a month looks like with coaching and courses is just simple math. 10K a month can be even just 2 clients, but 5 clients at 2K, and this is something high ticket. And if you want to create something high ticket, you need to sell in a big transformation and solve a real painful problem. And I won't really go into the depth here on high ticket versus low ticket. Just I tried low ticket, and I helped a lot of people with low ticket stuff, and it's super hard to scale, especially with paid ads. And paid ads is the way to go, because then you can see that if you put in $1, you get 5 back, and you can just put in more dollars and get more back. So usually I want to lean towards something that you can sell using paid ads, because it's very scalable and predictable. And if you want to scale something with paid ads, you need a lot of margins, so you can actually use a lot of money on ads and have a great funnel and convert people. And with a low ticket product, it's very hard, and usually you sell information, and information is free on Google, ChatGPT, YouTube, and everywhere else. So yeah, I will go more into this. So the real game, and just what you need to accept, is that your only job is to solve a big painful problem. And if you solve a big painful problem, you will get paid well. If you solve a small problem, you will fight for scraps. And I also want to say that courses are not magic, they are a productized process. So you need a good process. And let's say you don't have anything to make a course about, then you need to obtain those skills. And there's so much stuff on the internet, and you can literally learn whatever you want to learn. So go out there, do market research, find something where you can obtain a skill, and then you make it into a course, or you help coach people, and then you turn it into a course later. I just need to close. I'm getting all these pop-ups on the side there. Very disturbing. Okay, so let's continue here. So phase 1 is to find a pain worth paying for, or that people are willing to pay for. And usually the three big buckets are wealth, health, relationships. These are all places people are willing to pay a lot of money for. If you can help me earn more money, I'm willing to invest. If I have some health complications, or I want to be fit, I want to be healthier, or maybe I have a disease, something like that, I'm willing to pay a lot of money because I have a big pain. And the same with relationships. And the rules are simple, and it is that people must already be spending money on the problem. If people have a big pain or a problem, they're actually searching for solutions. They want to solve the problem. And if people are searching for a solution, there will be people, or yeah, almost all the time, there will be some people offering help with that pain. And if there are no people offering help, there are no coaching, there are no courses, that's actually a bad sign. Because, yeah, there's no proof that people actually got this pain and are willing to pay for it. So you want competition. Competition equals proof of demand. If there's zero competition, either you're very early, which are very, very unlikely, or is a bad market. And you can ask yourself these questions. Are people actively searching for solutions? Are there already courses, coaches, services making money here? And also, if you're in e-com or if you're in another industry, the same principles apply. You want to see if there are other solutions. And maybe if you want to make a course and there's no courses on the topic, are there people selling coaching on the topic, or are there software solving the problem? There should be some kind of solution out there solving the problem you want to solve. And can the target customer realistically pay $2,000 to $5,000 or even more? It just depends on the niche, your target audience, and so on. For example, if you want to help students, they don't have as much money as, for example, a CEO or a founder of a big company. So think about who you're solving the problem for, because the value of the problem you're solving is also tied to how much money they have, if that makes sense. And also look at, is the pain urgent, expensive, embarrassing, or career threatening? And then something very important is that you want to take people from pain to desire, where they want to be. And the offer must create a real gap. And it's just the essence of everything is that people pay to solve a pain and go to the desired outcome where they want to be. And people buy when the gap between current reality and desired reality feels big. And there's two types of demand. It's the medicine, which is more of a relief. You have a big pain and there's urgency to it. And then you have a vitamin, which is more of an upgrade. And you really want to target the medicine problems, because those are the problems people are willing to pay a lot of money for. Number 3, you won't be the first. And that's good. That's a good sign. And the fact is your ideas are not special. Execution is actually what separates winners from losers. And with all the people I have worked with, I see this all the time. It's the action takers that actually get to the 100K a month plus. And usually the people overthinking and they're slow and they want perfection before they start, they're stuck at 0 or a 5K a month, something like that. They're stuck in the beginning phase. So execution is what will get you the furthest. And unique is not about inventing a new market. Unique is about positioning, mechanism, and speed to outcome. So that's how you actually beat your competition. You create your unique angle. Even though there are competitors, you make your offer unique. And you should think like a scientist and not a gambler. And the scientific method is, really simple, and I touched upon it earlier, but you research, you create a hypothesis, you test, result, iterate, repeat. And what you're testing are these variables: the problem, the person having the problem, the promise, which is what you're helping them with, what are they obtaining, the outcome, the price, the mechanism, which is your way of doing it, your method, and then the delivery model. How can you actually help them go from where they are to where they want to be? What's needed to get there? And if you skip testing, you will build for months, which a lot of people do, and it feels good, and you're so excited for the launch. But what ends up happening is that no one buys. And I have done that myself, and it sucks. It's so draining, because when you launch and nobody buys, and you had these high expectations, it just sucks and you lose your momentum, and yeah, it's not very fun. And then you blame the market and not yourself, or actually, yeah, some blame themselves, but a lot of people just blame the market, but it's you. You're the problem. And then you repeat and you never get anywhere. So what you actually need are a place to talk to prospect, and this can be LinkedIn, Instagram, and then send out DMs. And now I'm talking about people starting from scratch here. If you're already doing 10K a month, then you can have a look at paid ads and so on, which I will touch a bit on later. You can also look at communities. Think, where does my target audience hang out? Warm network, very underrated. It's often a great place to start. Then you create a simple offer doc to test your offer, a calendar link, because you need to book calls to sell people for a high ticket thing, a way to collect payment, and just you need some sort of delivery model, and you need to create and have a plan and a process for how you want to deliver it. And that's really it. It sounds very simple, and to be honest, it is very simple. It's not necessarily easy, but it's simple. Phase 3, you want to get market data fast. And this is a great way to actually talk to people and get their feedback. And we really like to do interviews. And here you want to look for real data, which is what have they tried to solve their problems, what failed, what did it cost them, why did they fail, what did they don't like, what did they like, and what success will be worth. And now you need to talk to your avatar or the target audience and ask them good questions. And don't ask yes and no questions. Those don't give you the answers you want. So, and this is a great book called The Mom Test. And the principle is that if you ask your mom if your idea is great, she will support you. She will be scared to hurt your feelings. And people are scared to hurt your feelings, so they will not tell you the truth. And that's also why you need to ask great questions. So ask about what they have done previously, which would tell them, which will tell you a lot more about their problems. And yeah, you want to look for they're describing a painful situation quickly and that they have tried multiple solutions. Because if people have a big pain, they are trying solutions. That's just a fact. And then you build out a lead list with your research. And this is a great thing because you interview people and then you can get back to the people you're interviewing later on being like, you remember the problem you had that you told me about 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago? I have now created a solution for it. Are you interested to hear more? And then out of those interviews, you can actually get your first clients. And then you, of course, need to create a high ticket offer that works on cold traffic. And you can fill out this transformation statement. I help specific person go from painful current state to desired state in time frame. And people want results fast, easy, and they want big results. So think about that. And it's more about the perception framing than it is to promise someone to earn 100K in 30 days because it's not realistic. And people, they can smell bullshit. So be real, but also try to have in mind that you want it fast and easy. And using your mechanism or your method, your way of doing it, of reaching the desired state. And be specific. There's so much power in being specific. Have a specific person, solve a specific problem, a specific outcome for a specific path. And don't try to be creative. I mean, people try to be creative so much and it just ruins your offer. Because if it's not clear and people don't understand it very, very fast, it just won't work. So if a normal person can't understand it instantly, it won't scale. Your funnel and sales get easier when you're specific. And then again, about being unique, have a USP. Why should people go with you and not your competitors? And that's also a thing that people hate, or people don't buy things they tried before. So if you want to sell me on a diet and I have tried the keto diet, don't try to sell me the keto diet because I tried it, I didn't like it, and I failed. So instead of blaming myself, what people usually do is that they blame the method. So I blame keto. Keto is hard. I didn't make it. Yeah, keto sucks. So create a new diet. And I'm not saying you should create a new diet, but just understand the concept here, that you want to be unique and you want to frame it as something new. And you can fill out this template to get to your own mechanism. And yeah, different types of mechanisms. And then you want to price it correctly. Because if you want to price something high ticket, there's a lot of things you need to think about, because people don't just splash around thousands of dollars. So what I like to think about is the value of the transformation times proof equals the price. So if your outcome is valuable, but you have low proof, I will price yourself lower until you get more proof, and then you can increase the price. And some rules for high ticket is that never price based on hours of content. People want results fast. They don't care about the vehicle. They care about the transformation and how easy and fast they can get there. And people need trust before buying. There's a lot of people screaming out, I will earn you so much, I will help you with X, Y, and Z. But people are skeptical, and they should be. You should be skeptical. So that's why you need to build trust. You need to show that they can trust you and that you will actually help them get to where they want to be. So a practical starting point is to choose a price you can defend with logic, and you actually want some resistance. If everybody says yes, that's usually a sign that you price yourself too low. And if you're starting out with zero proof or experience, focus on getting proof and experience. I mean, that's what you should. Don't focus on the money if you don't have any proof or experience. Then focus on just helping people, getting some testimonials, getting some experience, building out the process, and then you can actually think about how can I price this a high ticket thing. And then you sell in the beta to get some clients. And yeah, the only real validation is payment. I have built many businesses before, and people always say they are great, they are amazing, but they don't really buy. So you need to actually get people to pay. If people just say, I love it, yeah, it means jack shit. You need money, you need people to pay for it. So I will start with getting 5 people to pay to validate your offer, and then you actually deliver, and you build out the course, or you build out assets to make the offer even better, to make the product even better. And yeah, I really like starting with the beta. And some structure on the beta is you help people out for 6 to 12 weeks, depending on the transformation and what you're actually promising them. Just think about the transformation, which is where they're starting to where they're going, and think how much time is needed to go from here to here. And that's how long the beta should be. And in the beginning, you should burn calories before you burn cash. So there's two paths to go when you want to get clients. You can either burn calories, which means putting in the reps, sending out outreach and so on, or you can burn cash, which is using paid ads and paid strategies to get people in the door. But in the beginning, I would always recommend talking with people, selling to people organically, because then you get real feedback. And then once you have something validated, you see that people want this, then you can scale with paid ads. And I mean, for example, doing the outreach, it sucks. Nobody likes doing outreach, or I don't think so. I hate it at least, but it's just the name of the game. And that's what's needed to win, to succeed. And if you don't want to do it, then you can just quit. I mean, you can't get to $10,000 a month if you're not willing to do what's required to get there. And some simple targets are to start with warm network. This is very easy. Then colleagues, people already buying similar solutions. You can also look for followers, comments in your niche, maybe on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and so on, communities, and so on. And yeah, just some simple ways to do this. And actually, my co-founders, Patrick and Peter, is really great at doing this. So I will push them to create a video on it. And we actually have some videos on it in our Skool group, which for my YouTube subscribers can join this for free. And here we'll see a free course we have, and you can also ask questions in the community. So just join this group if you want to see how to do it. It's free. All I ask for if you join is that if you like it, if you get to 10K a month, for example, that if you like the content, that you come to us for help. That's the only reason we have this for free, is to show that we're scaled, we can help you, and then hopefully when you want help, you come to us. And then after you have validated and sold it organically, then you scale with paid ads. And we also have stuff on paid ads in this course. But yeah, the real fun begins once you have it validated, and it's the most difficult part is getting to 10 or even 5K a month, because just getting something validated so you can scale with paid ads, then it's really easy to get to 100K a month if you have something validated. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you learned something, and if you have some questions, just ask in the comments. And also if you want me to make other videos, I can do that as well. And yeah, it's actually 27th of December. It's the Christmas holidays right now, so I hope you enjoy those. And yeah, let's kill it in 2026 together.